Welcome back to the Greater You. Always good to be with you all to share some good insights and information that can help you on your wellness and well-being journey. Today, we've got a really awesome topic. You know that my style, you've noticed if you've been watching a number of our videos, we talk a lot about kind of yin and yangs in this life. We talk about a lot about opposites and this versus this. We do that because the contrast gives you the ability to see. If you think about a picture that has high contrast, a mountain scene that's like a silhouette against the sky, the silhouette of the mountains versus the sky, there's a clear delineation between these two things, which makes it so you can observe the silhouette more fully, right? So we use this type of approach where we're talking about this versus that, and you'll see that come up a lot in our philosophy and our teachings at the Greater You, because it helps you to get clarity about these things that we're dealing with in life. Certainly there's, some Taoist concepts in there. There's a lot of different interesting concepts that have brought together this methodology. But what we've found as life coaches is that this is a great training tool. If you can think about something and its opposite, you can more fully understand both sides of the coin. So today, our opposing forces that we're discussing are responding versus reacting. This is a very important topic, really meaningful for maintaining and building healthy relationships. I'll never forget, years ago, I was in a seminar with a really established scholar in the world of psychology, Baumeister, Dr. Baumeister out of Florida. And he was presenting and he's like, hey, what is the number one predictor of healthy long-term relationships? And as we went through it and discussed, he's like, it is self-control. Self-control is at the root of being able to respond versus reacting to things that happen in our environment and in our relationships and in our lives. So think about this. If we talk about reactionary first, being reactive, when a stimulus hits, we have very little time that passes and we react. You're driving along and someone cuts you off and you flip them off. You didn't even really think it. You just let the emotion flare up of like, oh, how dare them? And you like raise your fist and shake your fist at the person driving. Well, that is a reactive way of being, and it tends to be like throwing gasoline on a fire and creates road rage incidents and other conflict that's totally unnecessary, all because we reacted and didn't really think, right? So when we're talking about reactionary behavior, it shows up in all areas of life. Obviously, behind the wheel, if you're in the good old US of A or anywhere you're driving, it can happen there. But it also can happen in relationships. Someone gives you a funny look and you react to it. Someone says something that you think is a little off and you react to it. Your boss gives you a short deadline that you weren't anticipating and you react to it. When we react, we set ourselves up for failure and tend to damage our relationships and our outcomes. So the stimulus hits, very little time passes, and we react. We want to break that down and stop that. We want to create space. So the awesome late Stephen R. Covey talked about creating space between the stimulus and the response. And in that space there, you can start to choose. So what we say is pause, think, breathe, and choose. Those are your 4 words that I want you to really think about. Person cuts you off on the road, pause. You're driving along, just pause. Don't say or do anything. Think, okay, they cut me off, whatever. Breathe, take 1 to 5 to 10 deep breaths, and then choose if you're going to respond or just let it go on down the river, right? So that's the pause, think, breathe, and choose solution can create space in between the stimulus and the reaction, which then changes the reaction to a response. A response is something we do when we respond in a more mindful and thoughtful manner, having been able to think through what's going on and coming up with a more rational, calm, and hopefully productive even win-win type of response. This allows time for clarification, rational thinking, emotional releasing, all the different tools. Go and check out our library of videos on YouTube. And also, we've got bigger, deeper classes that you can get through our website at thegreateryou.com. But really dig in and use rational thinking and emotional releasing and choosing our response to pick that second path. So the call to action today is to use that. When you feel a stimulus hit you and you feel a flash of disappointment or anger, or, like a snide remark comes to your head, you want to get snarky or cheeky, but in like a sarcastic, mean way. Pause, think, breathe, and choose a different response. And you'll find that it will improve your outcomes. And honestly, you're going to get way better results that are going to make your life better, right? So the boss hits you with that deadline that's really quick and you weren't really anticipating it, right? And if we pause, think, breathe, and choose, you can give yourself a chance to kind of think it through. And maybe a couple hours later on your lunch break, you send him a thoughtful email or say, hey, do you have 10 minutes that we could meet? And then you have a discussion around it. Hey, tell me about this deadline. Help me understand what your expectations are around this. It can become a constructive conversation that can at least give you the clarity and peace of mind that you need to understand what's going on. Likely your boss had pressure land on them that is beyond their control, that then, rolled downhill and hit you, right? And when you understand that, you'll be like, oh man, you're in a tough spot. Yeah, I will do my very best to get that on your desk by 9 a.m. tomorrow. All of a sudden, there's compassion there, only because you paused, you thought, you took some deep breaths, and you chose a better response rather than being reactive. That is it for this video. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. We have obviously a lot of content and a lot more to come. Thank you so much for spending time with the Greater You.